Trip Digital Radio presents LA Style Magazine. Tis the time. Arkita, Monet, and Christine. How's it going, guys? We're back.
Amazing.
Good.
Yes.
Good today.
Yes.
So we have a great guest ahead of us. Christine,
Yes.
why don't you bring her in?
We have Miss Caitlin Gold here.
Gold. Woo.
Caitlin Gold.
Yes.
Gold,
and
honey.
I just have to share a bit of an intro here because this woman is such a powerhouse.
Oh.
I very chance meeting in LA that we met. And so this just pretty much is just so prolific. And I read somewhere it says Gold's music provides a blueprint for both men and women seeking redemption, correction, and faith.
Woo.
It's an emotional and therapeutic soundtrack for all dreamers and believers pursuing a better tomorrow.
Oh my
Yes.
God, Christine.
Steve.
You read that. You
Blueprint
read that.
for believers.
Yes.
Ah.
And
Oh, we got to get into this.
yeah, so
This is our
That's a
niche.
lot of
This is our niche right here.
it's so deep, and not only that, but you have such a profound story. We, just barely touched on it in our meeting, and so there's so much there.
Yeah.
So, tell us how you got started into music and
Where you
such
from?
a journey.
Everything.
It's been a lifelong one, I guess. I grew up with a very musical family, and I just kind of really stuck with it. But I wouldn't even speak when I was a kid. Like my mom would, I would just hide behind my mom, and she gets so mad at me because I'd be on stage and I would sing, and I would just, but I would just pretend to be shy. She said,
Yeah.
it's like I don't like to talk to people. Like I'll sing to you, but I didn't talk so well,
Yeah.
I'm still like I'm a hermit. Like I stay in my apartment all the time, like in the corner, and I feel by myself and write, and it's weird,
Yeah.
Whenever I see Christine, I just word vomit on her because I'm just like, it's like I haven't seen people in so long. Like my dude just gets sick of me and leaves. Like, it's like, you need to get out of the house, honey. Like
We're those people that people don't realize are introverts.
right,
Because we bring so much energy, but we're really introverts.
It's like, no, but that's it. What you see, that's what
Yeah.
comes out. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
So where's that accent from? Where is that?
It's I'm from Georgia. I'm from
Georgia.
Atlanta.
All right, Atlanta, Georgia. All right,
That's
cool.
my sister from another mother.
I cover it up with some weird shit. I don't know what it is. It's like a fake accent. I talk to my mom and it gets all real long and drawn out and just real slow country.
Yeah,
But it's still it's my version of it. It's still really fast.
Yeah.
So, how old were you when you started singing then?
I'm probably 3. I was in I was trained operatically, and then I just kind of veered a little bit, and just got my little rock and roll roots in,
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So it was, and then I just, I guess I veered a whole lot from that. So what I do, I remember I got sick once when I was 12. I had to do the show, and I was supposed to sing this super high pitched Christina Aguilera kind of deal,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't. So my voice was just 2 octaves lower.
Right.
And
right.
I did it, and I hated it. I was so used to it, and I got this huge because most people or most women sing so I just kind of stuck with this little low range because everybody just enjoyed it so much, and so
Right,
no, I just smoked a lot of
right.
cigarettes, just
Right.
I stick it down there,
So it ended up working good for you, right?
Worked out, yeah.
Yes,
I did. I was like, all right,
yes.
this is we too wrong with this. And so yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny when I play live, I'll tell my text if you can just bring my low end way up because you're gonna just lose me in the first song if you don't. And they're like, okay, little blonde girl, whatever, little 5 foot tall, if you can just turn my but
Yeah.
then the first song is on, they're like, holy shit,
They're
It's
like,
it's-
whoa,
yeah, it's
exactly.
going way down here.
Yeah. You're like, I told you.
Right.
So, speaking of that, how would you describe your own music? Because, so for example, I Love You All the Time, such a different tone to that and some other ones, and even your artistry and your music videos, there's so much there. How would you describe it yourself?
I always say that I'm just a rock and roller, but I do I do a lot of crossover. I do a little bit of everything. I like to have my hands in everything, and I like a broad market. I like to reach as many people as I can. So I work with a bunch of different kinds of producers. This guy right here, he challenges me as much as he can.
Who's this guy right here? Tell us.
This is
Who is this
Jimmy
masked
D.
man
It's,
over
my
here?
incredible producer, friend,
Yeah.
colleague.
with the
We
cool
collaborate.
clip.
He's an incredible artist that pushes me to get out of my little comfort zone of just my little deep, dark, brooding, angsty hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so it's fun. I Love You All the Time is actually it's a cover of Eagles of Death Metal. They did this song, and that was they were the band that was playing in the Paris attacks. So when like the Bataclan was shot, so this is a song that they did that they kind of gave to artists to cover for free without paying any licensing or anything, so long as everything that you make from it goes to the families of the survivors, the families of people who pass, and the shooting
That's
and everything.
awesome, Kate.
So I kind of I made it a little darker, I guess I dark because his is like all fun and dancy, and just, it's very Jesse Hughes, and mine's just very Caitlin Gold.
I love it.
I shot it at the Stewart Hotel. It's like it's like dinky, like horrible, like hotel downtown. Like just like I would never go back, but I shot my music video there in the room, like holed up by myself, like, and like maybe like 3 hours, just like edited it together. I got really into the video. It's like because I just don't like to wait for other people to do things for me.
Yeah.
So I just like I'm like I can do that, except for producing that I can't do myself.
Yeah.
I can't remove myself from it. But the videos, it's
Who did produce that track?
that was
That's fire.
Dre Powell. Dre Powell actually did that one as well as the other one that did sound something similar to it, which is actually a Scott Weiland cover, Barbarella. He did both of those for me, and I think we're doing
Wait, Barbarella.
yeah, Barbarella.
Girl,
Yeah.
do you remember that old
Jake Hunter, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
Yes, honey. Everybody does not
Yeah.
understand.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I do.
I actually almost wore the little silver hot pants tonight.
Oh my
I almost did.
God. I gotta see it. Oh my God. Barbarella is everything.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you make it work.
Well, it's like a weird, a weird Scott Weiland like one-off that he did, like 12 Bar Blues was the album, and he was a dear friend. So, like when he passed, I wanted to do something kind of like commemorate, and I felt like his wife at the time was like his Barbarella that saved him from his misery.
Oh,
and
how
just like
sweet.
he's like when he passed, he was as happy as he ever was. She was just
I love that.
So I wanted to kind of like bring that out, and just like remember how like beautiful it was,
I
even
love
like
that.
right at the end, it was beautiful, he was
Mhm.
madly in love, and he had his Barbarella,
Yes, that was his Barbarella.
Yeah.
Aw.
So, Caitlin, I want to ask you a question. There's so many angles to you. I just love it so much. You have a few songs. I mean, actually, almost all of your songs are really deep in story. You shared with me kind of off the record.
Yeah.
Can you share with audiences and, with the studio, maybe a couple of them that really are like you?
I do. I mean, like my songs are I sing for the the warriors and the survivors. It's I've dealt with a lot of domestic violence early in my life, and so I just it's a weird thing that like women aren't allowed to talk about. It's something that we're supposed to be ashamed of, and that we have to like hide and like keep. And so there's just this whole I feel like it should be something that we can have on the table, that like we can talk to our children about
Right.
what to look for, I didn't know what verbal abuse was, or that was a thing at all, and that I was being abused, and it's just like there are so many things that if we just talked about it, it would just, do a lot of damage control, and it's I want people to be able to feel comfortable, in speaking about these sorts of things, because it's something that happens often, to men and women alike, and it's just still something that we have to just like, that's keep it. It makes people uncomfortable, so don't talk about it. But we're supposed to make people uncomfortable, and that's what art is. Art is supposed to make people uncomfortable, and it's supposed to make you, if it doesn't, then what are we doing?
Exactly.
If it doesn't make you think or make you just like, I want to poke you in the ribs some. I want
feel
to
a certain kind of way.
Okay.
yeah,
Exactly.
I feel like it's part of my job as an artist to share, to put something out there, that there are so many people that understand that, and to sing the words that haven't been sung, that haven't been said, and make it an empowering thing. It's I have my song "Disappear Here" is about
Disappear.
disappear here.
Oh yeah, that's what
you're losing the accent.
Here.
Disappear here.
Yes.
It comes out in that one a lot. People are like, I always forget your country.
Yeah. I just remember, I didn't hear the here at the end, but I'm like, I thought I remember it being disappear.
It slurs in kind of disappear here.
Yeah, incredible. It's incredible.
It's about like it's sort of people always say to like women especially, like, why didn't you just leave, like why couldn't you just why don't you just break up with them, why don't you vow, because it's that simple. Like relationships aren't complicated or anything. It doesn't it's not, and I wanted to write like my version of not why didn't you just but just give like an alternative, like just you could. It's because it's scary out there. It's scary to leave this thing that you've been crippled by, that you've been put in a position where it's almost impossible to leave. That usually they're in charge of your money, they're in charge of where you can go and who you can know. You haven't spoken to your friends or parents or anybody because you're isolated, and it's so hard to remove yourself from that, because it's all you have, it's all you know. Especially if you have, fortunately I didn't have like any like children with any of these people, but
Thank
but
God.
that happens all the time.
Yes.
People have these families that they want to, and it's not so easy as just picking up and leaving, even if you're in a normal relationship, like it's not easy to just pick up and leave. And so it's just,
let alone one that you are terrified in
yeah,
and don't know what the consequences will be. And I thought
absolutely.
that was definitely something that connects me with you because of my experience. So I completely get that. And that's why I believe that I related to a part of your bio where it says that you have the ability to turn pain into beautiful expressions of love. And so would you say that you're probably like an empath, somebody that's very, very empathetic? Like, for example, if you're with an abuser or someone or were with an abuser, it's because you had an ability to understand everything that he went through and you just did not know how to say, I can understand, I can have compassion for what they've been through without being in a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Because,
it's hard to do because I'm a nurturer. So it's like, I want to like, I want to, it's not I'm not a fixer. Like I don't necessarily want to fix you, but I want to be, I want to be understanding. I want to be everything that I wish that you were for me.
That's it right there.
And that's how I was raised, is that you treat people the way that you want to be treated, and it's like you have to like turn the other cheek and not like and it's hard to do. And it puts you in positions like that sometimes, but I don't know. I don't think that I would do necessarily anything differently in my past. Even like I think that things went the way that they were supposed to go, and I handled them the way they're supposed.
You're such a voice. I was going to ask you, how did you find that voice? Like, how did you find
the strength?
That strength to be able to speak, to share that story.
I wrote a lot. I started my Caitlin Gold project while I was with one of the last ones, and I started writing them actually like there in the house. I would have this little spot that I would hide like behind our house when he was on one, and I would just like whisper and like sing into my phone, and I started just getting all these, ideas, and I wrote like my first little like round of songs for this project, and even the Buried Alive kind of started there too, and it's I envisioned that house when I sing that song still, it's very much, at the end of the song, the hill, the dirt I breathe is like, is that house and like that hill, and it's, it's that like, it's very, I try to write like less like so specific my story, and I try to make it as vague as possible, but it's still very like, I'm like, that can't mean anything to anybody else.
Absolutely. Oh no, but it does.
But and it's funny because I'll have people tell me like they're like, what it means to them, and it's just it's so like it's so it's surreal, just that
they connect to your pain.
Yeah, to your pain. And it's and I think there's just because there's so little of that out there, there's so little of a voice for it, and so many people going through it. It's such an epidemic that it's just unspoken. It's we just ignore it, and it's because we're supposed to. It's polite too. And it's
totally.
I think it's polite not to like hit your girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's more polite. Like, maybe if we just
call her on
like, I'm sorry about the symptom, but like maybe we can do something about like the cause.
Exactly.
That's really it's really a very powerful thing. Everybody up here, I think, has been touched with things that have to do with DV. I am a part of the association, actually, the Domestic Violence Association across America.
Yeah.
And just to hear what you're saying to me is it brings back a couple memories of understanding and learning about what people had to go through. So when I'm listening to your track, I'm hearing that. I didn't know, because I didn't know the backstory on it until you went into it. But now that I listen to it, and I just literally flipped back to it just 2 seconds ago. Now I can hear it. And I wanted to ask you now, your journey with this, did you seek help? Was there anybody outside? Did you get with the with the foundations, or did you talk to anybody, or was it just from your own strength of pulling away?
I didn't, for so long. I mean, you battle with what you're actually going through. It's hard for you to actually say that this is actually what's happening to me. You try and convince yourself otherwise, or make yourself an equal part of it. And so, I mean, really, it was my friends that just got me through. Jesse Hughes was a huge impact on that part of my life. He would come over to my house even when he was not on tour. and check on me and make sure that, he would just, let himself in, like, come walk through the house and make sure everything was okay and what was going on. And just like, he pushed me to start playing music again, which is something I hadn't done for a long time, because all of my exes were artists, they were musicians. And so they, just wanted to like stifle my voice and my song, And, and I was, I allowed it, which was the main thing that I learned, was that everything that happened to me and everything that happens to me and anybody is something that we allow. And disappear here as, a line that's, I'm the only one who can break me, because it's if you do break me, it's only because I let you, like I have the power to save myself, to fall, it's all up to me. And, it's all up to me what I choose to do and how I choose to react to this thing that happened. It's not about the thing that happened. It's about what you do afterwards, and it's Alexandria House as a place that I've looked into just like to go and work with, because I think that what they do is incredible. That they actually not just house and like bed and feed, but they have you taken student job interviews. They have a childcare. You're allowed to have your pets there. You're allowed to have a life and not just give everything up, because that's the thing. It's like you're expected to give everything up to go live in these shelters, and it's
I feel like a prisoner and you're the one.
And it's just that was something that I couldn't ever imagine myself in. And I lived in my car. I lived in I went through but it's I had so much support. Like my family just took the horrible phone calls whenever they come in and just
filter it.
Yeah, 100%.
I hear that passion. And I feel it.
That energy is so real.
It's
I can
real.
see it. I can see it coming. I see it, understand it.
Well, bringing it to the present day, because there is so much passion that Caitlin has, and I always catch tidbits because she's has such a full schedule in her career, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm just shooting a video for this music awards," and she is, and even like little tidbits and pieces I put together. She has fans around the world who are going to hear this, and it's just so inspiring.
Mm-hmm. It's kooky.
It is, but the realities are every woman goes through a journey, and it's not till somebody relates it.
Absolutely.
When Beyonce came out with her album, it was like finally
from a journey,
women speaking truth.
Yeah,
like this happens
from a journey,
right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
No matter how famous,
or how there's so much strength that comes with that. Yeah. So bring it to present day. Tell us some of your projects, like what's going on.
They're definitely my new songs I'm working on are definitely it's you can feel like the journey, and as like Buried Life is very much in it and like fighting to get out and disappear. Here's the kind of like broken heart at the end, but like the strength to like rise. And so like my new song that I've been working on with Timmy D, Drift Away, that I'm really, really excited about. It's turned into such an incredible list. I wanted the anthem. I wanted the warrior, the rise song. Up to like absolutely, and the celebration, and that song is very much that get out and fuck this, and just being excited about life again, and just being happy and remembering who you are and that you're a whole person outside of this fucked up shit. That doesn't define you. It doesn't.
Get your feelings out.
Yeah, I'm not this other person that I became. I'm not this other person that I live with. I'm not. Because you get so like, I love this saying, like, you can't walk through shit without getting some on your shoe, and you get a lot of shit on your shoes in those situations, and you just got to take your fucking shoes off and just like run, it's just, and you forget like these like wonderful things, these wonderful pieces of you, and how beautiful everything is, and it's just to breathe again and to live again and make my decisions and not fear for my life over what I made for breakfast, or if I clean the dishes properly, or just whatever dumb shit you like,
It's really, really awesome because you said you have the power, and everything that you're speaking about right now is just that.
Yeah.
And you're telling your journey, which I love, because you look at it, even I'll do a little tidbit. When you look at like Kevin Hart's career, he was terrible until he started talking about himself. If you look back in his history, that's where he was.
That's
terrible.
Laugh at my pain.
But until he started talking about himself and just gave into that, now you're like, oh, I just want to be around this dude. I want, because he's being real with it every single day.
That's the only way you're going to get through
anybody. And that's what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing. That's what's amazing too. life.
Thank you. I just, I got very comfortable because I guess you have to in this, when you're, as honest as I am in myself, is you have to be very, very comfortable in your skin. Because I mean, all my dirty laundry is out there, and I put it out there, and even it made it hard to date because the kind of people who do things like that seek it out. Like they're vultures. They prey. They're predators. Like they look for people who are vulnerable and that have been. They know if you've been taken advantage of before, you can be taken advantage of again and manipulated it back into this horrible downward spiral that you don't even realize you're in until you're in it. It's too late.
Yeah.
And,
oh my God, I'm in love.
What do you do? What do you do to maintain that strength day to day to keep that positive influence?
I just, again, it's the people in my life. It's so important who you surround yourself with.
Amen.
If the people in your life want hallelujah. If the people in your life want you to do well, then you're going to do well. If they want you to do crappy, then you're going to do crappy. And again, it's up to you. And it's when you have people that give a shit and that love you and care about your work and your art, and that just push you, and even it's call me in my dark little moments.
Come to interviews at midnight.
Yeah, exactly. When he has me look at me on the phone all day because my phones are all shut off, and I've got the one that I don't have. It's at somebody else's house. I mean, this guy will call me out of the blue, and it's he knows that there's I'm just sitting there going down in my head, and he talks me out of my hole without even I didn't have to say anything, and it's I have so many of those types of people in my life that are just it does wonders, and then to have something, you lose so much of yourself, and it's just so important for any person to have your thing, I have my music and no one can take it from me ever. I always have my song, no matter what, it's there and it's in me. And you may be able to silence it for a little while, but not for long, and I get loud, and it's just,
that from what you're saying here, I want to also know, besides your inner journey and the pain and the struggle and the frustration and then the triumphs and all that's going on, what else is your influence? Who is your influence?
The first thing that's so stupid, I have this incredible little dog. I know. It's just so
that's not California. That's nothing new for us with California. I've been dealing with it.
It's he's just he one of my exes got him for me as this. He was a consolation prize for he smashed my face on the floor, and I got this little dog. It's here, don't tell anybody. It's kind of hard to do and fucking.
Yeah.
But so this little dog, Jerry Springer, the dog, is just he was hero.
His name is Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer.
Oh,
yeah. He's a little chihuahua.
That probably has a lot of significance.
All right, I'm thinking about it. There was a lot of fights on that show.
He's
crazy fights he has seen.
Oh, girl, you're good. You're smooth.
He's a gangster little guy. He's a Chihuahua Dachshund pit bull.
So you got to get a dog named Steve. Because Steve used to break up with fights in Jerry Springer.
I feel like my dude is Steve. I'm not the bald white guy. He's the real big kind of silent type that sticks in the back. He's not here, but he might be here somewhere in the shadows. Yeah, right. He's the mellow, love. He's probably the Steve. Yeah. But Jerry got me through a lot. He became a warrior for me. He would fight fights for me.
Can I say something about that? Actually, I've known Caitlin for a while now, and through some of the trials that I've seen her go through, she always has that dog. It's nuts. And it's so that dog is kind of it's her emotional support animal. There's been times where I've been out on tour and I've called you, and it's that's all you got.
Right.
I've seen you. It's not all you got.
He's lived in my car with me. He's
becomes your company.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that.
Yeah, 100%. And it's, he's literally fought for me, this dog, and he goes through the shit. And he looks at me and I know what he's thinking. And he's judgmental and just he gets these he's really.
Jerry Springer is very judgmental.
He's super judgmental. Super. He's very political. And just, and he's very much I always say he's more like a Walter Matthau. And this just grumpy old dude that's just So in my head he's got this cute little voice, but really it's just all right, we're gonna fucking do this again. He's just sneering and just don't think about everybody.
Don't do it.
You'll look at him and he'll be giving you this look, and he's I can't raise my eyebrows. He's I got the Botox, but he gives you this look, and he just raises his eyebrow at you and just and it's just dude, don't don't look at me like that. We're doing this or whatever. And like, fuck, you know, like, whatever, dude. Like, don't. And
She has constant conversations with this dog.
I do. I do. Even when he's not around. You know?
I'm gonna ask you. 'Cause I don't know if she's gonna tell me the truth. But I'm like,
So that's Caitlin
that
Gold's
dog-
manager, everybody co-signing the dog.
But he's not here. Yeah. I mean, I left him in Orange County. I like rushed up here, like I left him with my dude. Like that was like a big thing. You know, it's like I was like, I can't take him with me. Like I can't have the. It's like I have to leave him here with you because he goes literally everywhere. I mean, everywhere.
I can see
That dog's
that
in my
dog
home. That's how it's
looking
like
at you
exercise.
like, where are you going?
Right?
dog?
No, he's legit. Like he's
I
not
can
jumping up
picture
the window
that dog.
crying. He's just like,
You should have brought Jerry
You
on the
know.
show. I mean, we're dog friendly here.
yeah, well, yeah,
Wow.
he's next time. People. Yeah, he'll come
yeah,
and visit for sure.
Yes.
He's very people. He is. I mean, he even sleeps on his back with like the blanket up and stuff.
Okay,
Wow.
y'all,
Very
that-
beautiful.
that's
Yeah.
California
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. Hey, no shade. I respect with your dog because everything you've gone through.
no, that's
So I'm
a
gonna
lot.
give it to you.
Thank you.
But people know I
think
am not that.
not a dog person.
Oh my God, it's like too humanized.
She's
Oh,
from,
You see,
I'm
I
from
was
the
gonna,
South. We hunt.
I would
She's
say
from
that I have a
Atlanta.
lot of
I'm sorry.
respect
I'm
for
not.
the dog. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, go on.
No, who needs friends when you have
Okay,
a
Christine.
true and loyal,
Friends.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, when he talks shit to my face, you know?
Right. But you know, we're not gonna make it about dogs right now. I'm just glad that you love. Because if I start bringing up dogs, it'll be a whole thing.
But
I'm
see,
gonna-
what you just said is the truth, though. They love you unconditional, and
Yeah.
they're loyal to you forever. So
Yeah.
it's make a difference.
Yeah,
But there's
your
no
battle.
conflict. You gotta
There's
have
no
conflict to
conflict.
grow.
See, you're around dog lovers.
You gotta
y'all
have
might get
conflict.
here.
You
That's
have to have
vulnerability right
conflict
there,
to grow. I don't need an amen corner. I can stand alone, but I will support you in the fact that that dog has been everything to you because you
Yeah.
deserve that.
And
Thank you.
you're gonna
Yeah.
watch.
Thank you.
You're gonna watch my
Can,
dogs.
can we go
My
back
God.
to
Please.
the influences? Because I think
Yes.
Jerry
Oh, yes.
Springer is
Yeah, well,
fantastic.
That is
Right.
And
dope.
so many people will relate to that. But you have such a deep, soulful,
Sultry. Yes.
Mhm.
surprising vocals, and like, where does that come from?
It's a weird combination that I actually like a lot to like two like very specific, very different. I think I get along the way that I write my music from. I grew up. I think they're incredible songwriters. I get it from Hanson. They really like it's everyone remembers like the one song, but they really like wrote some even in their first album, as children, they were writing these incredible songs, but just like this their style, like the way that it was just like so poetic and philosophical. And for a 9-year-old, you know, it's like like fuck you. Like, I can't be like I'm like it's still like you know like I'm like so and so age and like I still am like you know blown and I'll play like you know I'll like grab my acoustic and like play like you know certain songs for people just to get them you know like, oh this is your new song, that's not my new song. Who wrote that, Hanson? Yeah, you liked it, didn't you? But so it's like, there's a combination of them, and I'll sneak it on you. I'll sneak some hands on you
Nice
sometime.
surprise.
Like be aware. Like it'll come on sometime. But and then the Distillers, Brody Dow is she was this like a little Australian like punk rocker, just this like insane like just solid like
Australia.
deep, yeah. She's a gangster. She had like a deep voice, but she had like such control over it. It was like if Courtney Love like took lessons or something, you know. But she just was such a an idol to me like growing up, you know, that she was just this like, you know, like balls to the like the punk rocker that just like, you know, was doing what like no woman was doing, like really like she was like the one female on tour, like, you know, for like, you know, Warped Tour and all this, you know, like all these like, you know, incredible other artists, you know, and she just really like held her own just and she's just was just such a she's still like she's like a mother of like 3, 4, like she's just got like a ton of little children
and still rocks.
yeah, like I'm
Yes.
like her, you know, and she just is so inspiring. You know, she had like, you know, tons of like battlefields that she went just even as a child and growing up and then to like keep just battling through to do that. Like I was and I, you know, would go to her shows when I was a kid and I like, you know, I met her and she was always just like such a like a cool little badass, you know. She'd always make a point to like come down like from the small shows when they started getting bigger, like, you know, she got like the big record deal, like it didn't change like shit. Like she was like the same person that just was like down in like the crowd, like, you know, but like the people, like, you know, talking about the cold medicine that we're on because we're both sick, you know. I'm like 13 years old. I'm like, this is like, you know, it's like these huge moments for me, you know, shooting off fireworks like at the outside of like the Cotton Club in the Tabernacle in Atlanta, like 2:00 in the morning when I'm like 15 years old. And like my mom's like around the corner somewhere waiting for me, like just like these just like badass moments, I think I was cut out of that music video actually because like I was like 15. Did you
tell him you were 15?
I didn't, but then like somebody else did, like somebody else told on me. They're like, oh yeah, it's her birthday, right? Like she's turning 16 tomorrow. And they were like, so it's like in the video, like it comes out and it's like panning over, and I'm like, oh, it's like right where it's about to get to me, and then boom, I was like, oh man, like, they literally just cut me out.
Or to be fine.
But I still I actually do like a cover of one of her songs in my live show because it's just I love that she gave me like that, and I was always like very sing-songy, very and she gave me just like the gut, the growl, this to get out that fucking just that's in me, something's just gotta grow.
You're clear on your influences. I like that. You're clear on what has influenced you. I love that.
I recently thought about it. I recently like sat and just like kind of like because there's tons of like little pieces like here and there, but like those are just like so like core to me. Like there's like those two just are very just significant, and you can hear it. Like you can hear like just both of those two things like together. I mean, like this guy will call me on some other things, on like my alkaline trio or like whatever. Like he knows too many references with my work. He's like, isn't that the Used song name? Like the
music, and I'll just sometimes I'll bring it up. I'm like, you took that from the Used.
Right? I'm like, I didn't even realize I was like borrowing a song title. Like, whatever, dude.
Are you kidding? You're great. I know she may not toot her horn on this end, but we're working on obviously the new music that we've been working on.
Yeah.
And she did say it about me pushing her, but that's one thing is her and I definitely all you. But talking about this girl could stand in the middle of the room of a bunch of gentlemen rockers, and she's the tallest one in there. She's got so much energy. And so we got to break those doors down because I'm like, you've been doing a lot of very emotional music. Let's use that energy. Where you are standing on the top of the mountain and shouting it out because you are the tallest in the room. You got that big voice.
Right.
And so we've been trying to push that envelope of getting that big voice. Really like, this is the chance to use that energy.
He reminds me of a powerhouse,
Exactly.
Because she is a powerhouse. When you see her on stage, she definitely controls the room. All eyes are always on her.
Yeah.
Well, you can see the
And it's
passion.
not, I mean, obviously she's a gorgeous woman, but I mean, at the
but
same
the story
time, it's
and
the
her
energy.
pain and that depth
And
produces a higher level of energy.
And a lot of people don't know that story immediately. So that's where that energy comes from, where she has to deliver it there, and she has to deliver that message without ever even having to say a word.
Exactly.
But just sing, so.
Exactly. And on that note, I heard you talking about like some projects that are there any projects that you're currently working on right now? We're interested to hear that. And then also, what do you want your supporters to know about you? Like, can you kind of merge those two answers together, projects, because that is something you want people to know.
I have everything that we're working on right now like is a lot more. It's high energy. It's I'm very excited. Drift Away is the next one that's coming that we're releasing, and it's almost done. We've got the I don't know.
She's smiling.
I'm so excited.
I can't wait.
It's so hard not to like just even put the demo out there because it's so good, like, and he definitely took me to a different level.
It's music that sounds like it should be sung in an arena before it really is, like you could go see it in a club, but I think it's a little bit more open and more powerful at the same time. Not as, the drumming isn't as busy and the lyrics aren't as, Caitlin is a very verbose person. She speaks a mile a minute. That's just her. I've known her forever. She speaks so quickly. And I was like
I'm a
less lyrics. Hit them with those. She's very loquacious. So why don't we take that loquaciousness and pick those unique words and really focus on 1, 2, 3 words instead of 10 words in a chorus.
Great manager.
And that's what Drift Away. She just repeats that. I'll drift away. I'll drift away.
Yeah.
And everybody can grab onto that and really grab onto her really quickly because of it.
He pulls the growl out.
Yeah. Kudos to great managers seeing great gifts like this and knowing how to bring it even more so to the forefront.
Is this a house track? What's the
it's rock and roll.
Yeah,
it definitely
very
is
like
that,
pop rock.
But,
like it's
but we've definitely been diving into a lot more of that 80s synth wave. But definitely one of the cool things is is listening to a lot of like early 90s hip hop, like Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of poetry in that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's fine.
And she's when she sings songs, she tells a lot of stories.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen to those tracks and listen to how they tell those stories. They're still okay with telling a unique linear story.
Absolutely.
Like Left My Wallet in El Segundo.
Yeah.
Like it's just
I
a story.
love
It's so
Wallet in
simple.
El Segundo.
Remember that tune? But it's like I
You
reference
turn
that
it
track.
up.
So you know what I'm
Let's
talking
go.
about though.
All day.
And it's like I reference that track a lot because it's such a simple story, but yet their neighborhood could relate. And so it was that tiny little area started following, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger because everybody was like, yo, they're telling a real story.
Exactly.
So I only want, like, when we work together, I'm like, just be real with what you do.
know.
But use all these influences, use these examples.
And that's
All right,
I love it, but it's someone that like I definitely
Dope.
can.
That's
Like,
good.
I get so like personal. My work is so personal that I get so just like like nobody can tell me what to do with this. Which is why I have to have like producers that can like, they can push
Handle
me
it.
and like right.
Yeah,
I can
market it.
I have a handful too though. They just get past me. Like you want to do what with myself?
Yeah. Well, you can still keep it. I feel like you can still keep your art in its proper place.
Yeah.
So however you want to add it on, but for the market it to get it to the masses.
And that's what he does.
And to
it's just-
build,
he
That was
he
a
keeps
big wall.
everything intact. But like
that was a
this is
big
really
wall
like-
that we knocked down together.
Yeah.
And it was a moment in the studio where we were angry at each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just being real with you.
Yeah.
And we went outside and had a
Had a little
cry,
whiskey.
had a big
Yeah,
cry,
yeah,
had
we
a
did.
shot of
I
whiskey.
tried some
Exactly.
Hey,
No
that's-
conflict is
That's
weird.
where the
I
real
don't
stuff
trust
comes
you.
in.
Crying.
That's
Yeah,
where the real
there's-
stuff comes in.
Exactly. If there's never any conflict, I can't say that I
Right.
trust
That's
you
how you know.
because you're
What
not
you were
keeping
saying,
it
you were
100.
saying.
We're
Yeah.
not twins.
You know, so amazing though, when I was really diving into your music, I felt like it brought me back to like this early 90s period
Yeah.
where the story was so good and the connection was so strong.
Yeah.
And then just that energy and power, like it all just came together so
Real
beautifully.
music.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a movement of people yearning for
Yeah,
that.
I thought about
you
10
know?
different people, rock and roll, hip hop. I thought about
Yeah.
everything. When you just started saying like the 80s and the 90s, I went
Yeah.
straight like to Boy George, from Lauren. I just went from
That
everywhere.
storytelling.
To Cindy Lauper,
Absolutely.
and I
Yeah.
jumped back to the
Yeah.
Wu-Tang. Like I just
Well, and I love the mix.
Yeah.
Like my dude.
Nas, like
My dude is like this incredible freestyle rapper.
Yes.
And he's insane. Like he sits there. It pisses me off. Like he can just sit down and write 10 songs in like 20 minutes. And it's like I worked on this song for like a month and a half. And I just I'm still waiting on a bridge to come to me. So he just spits, and it's like all this like incredible, just like poetic, just like and I'm so excited to work with him. Like I'll sit down with him and and we'll like do songs together when he's like doing this flow and shit.
Mhm.
And it's I just I want to do that. I want to do like I wrote this song. It's funny enough, called The Dream. A while back, and I didn't know how to work it, and then when I met him, I was like, this is what I do, and so we've been working on this song together that
So is there a tour that we can be looking for?
I don't have any. I need to
Not
start
yet.
I've been really bad about it. I've been so focused on like my writing and and stuff. But I need to get to like London actually. Like it's my shit's like blowing up in the UK right now. It's where like my huge my biggest following is. And I was like haven't even like been. What's up guys? Like I'm coming. Yeah, that's a hard market to
Get
get.
out
with, like,
there and
rock roll.
cultivate it, man.
Yeah.
Caitlin, have you been approached or would be open to doing something that really showcases your story in addition to your music? Because you have such a beautiful, bright light.
Thank you.
Like the storytelling that obviously, comes with the music, but, otherwise, like, have you ever
Netflix
thought about
series.
that?
Talking about like a documentary.
Yeah, that's
documentary,
good.
something like that.
I would, that's one
She
thing
could
I
do
would love
anything
that.
she wanted, really.
Right. And that's the part where she can bring in all of the stuff that you were talking about. Whereas, and then the music, like let him help you with, and then you can kind of add.
Yeah.
Nothing has to be lost. It's just
Yeah,
where
and
it's
it's
placed.
definitely like it's just he makes it what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, it's that's something
That's
that
what
like I
managers
just
do. Yeah.
100%.
I'm the bumpers in the bowling alley land. She's like, she's a natural perfectionist though. So
That's why I like the
to
bumpers.
get that
That's why.
strike because she's always aiming for it. I'm just there to be like, maybe
Right.
Yeah,
that way,
totally.
that way.
Except that he like just blows the bumpers up real quick, like when I'm not looking.
What just
I think I just did it. I just got strike. This is the bumpers. Sometimes it doesn't make it all the way out in the end, though. I'm a little girl.
So do you have any other passions?
I always love to get excited about all kinds of different, like, arts. When I started doing my own music videos, I got just so like, I'm so, saying I got like this, like, my dude got me like this like gimbal, the Osmo Mobile 2, so like just like videotaping myself like all the time, like look like such an asshole, just like
I could see you with your own fashion line though.
Yeah,
that's what I saw when I first met you, actually.
The funny thing is I've never seen myself as like a visual artist, because I don't think that, I feel like I get lucky with like throwing shit together, like that's why I just like I like other people's clothes, because like you already had like the sense for me. Yeah. I just like, but
I can rep it then. I see where you're coming from, Christine.
Yeah, I love being a part of anything that I love.
People love movements. I remember Gwen Stefani when she came out. Like that. There was a little bit of a divergent from her music. And
that'll happen. You get excited about something, and you just, I feel like it's like I did that with the videos. It's like, I stopped I started like shooting videos for all my old songs instead of writing new ones. And, you get like, immersed in something, and then you kind of like, work that into what you do, So it's, I was an actor when I was a kid, so I like doing, I love doing like, I play little parts every day, really.
Yeah.
Videos.
Yeah. It's funny, like my dude gets so mad at me because I'll be videoing us, I'll do like, hidden camera music videos, that's what I call it. And so, and I'll cut it to like, we'll be having this like intense conversation, and I'll cut it to where it looks like we're fighting and he's like mean, because it's kind of like the songs are about. And it's like, he's like, dude, like, everyone's gonna think that I'm the asshole you write about. I'm like, no, it's just, I wouldn't be videotaping you if you were, I just like to have you in because you're pretty and it works,
Yeah.
It's funny if you just like take the like, just like silence our videos, we're just, it looks like we're just going like, just, it's like, no, we're
passionate.
Talking about, yeah, it's like I was talking about like the Russians up there, like
the power of editing.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally, 100%. He's like, are you videoing this? Are you gonna edit this?
So Marquita asked you a question earlier. I don't know if we got to it, but what else do you want your fans to know about?
Yeah,
it could be you, your music, just something.
I think they should be patient.
Oh, I know you have to be very patient with me. It always looks like I'm just
really
like falling away.
In the 80s by U2, Joshua Tree. And it took them a year and a half to write that.
Yeah.
There's a few bands along the way in the last, even the Beatles going back that far. It took some time.
Yeah,
you've taken a lot of time, but you're actually being incredibly the antithesis of what you are, which that patience.
Make it right.
I know.
Right.
And she's really exercising it now.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Way to
be
go,
patient,
Mama.
but get excited.
Yeah. Well, I'm so like I just shove shit out too. That like I think that like I worry that like since I've kind of like haven't been putting stuff out for a while, that I've actually been just like working and building, is that like people are gonna think that I'm like not doing anything anymore, or that I'm like falling away. It's like, no guys, I'm here. Like I'm really here. Like
work on it.
I'm doing
stuff.
Yeah. And that's that's what I was talking with one of my other producers about doing, like just like a cover, just like just to like pop out while I'm like working on like this other stuff that just I don't want to rush, but like I used to cover I worked with this it was called the name of it right now. This is wonderful organization that's professional musicians and some well-known musicians that work with children, and it's they do like raffles and stuff about like the shows. There's like a show like once a month, and all the money goes to like buying instruments for these kids, and all these same people that play the shows are teaching like these children like how to perform, like hands-on, like not just how to play guitar, but how to stand and how to look and like what to just like how to be a rock star. And then you perform with them. And so it'll be like like me singing with like a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old on like bass and guitar, and then like a pro drummer, and then it's a really cool like I forgot what the point was behind this actually.
I think that's something that you've always told me though, and that like we've talked about, is giving back.
Yeah.
Like not just musicians, but just whatever you do. Like if you're on an on-air personality, or if you are a banker or a lawyer, whatever it is you do, just taking some time to give back and talk to the youth that are up and comers, but also being very honest with them that it takes a lot of work, because in the Instagram day and age, Caitlin and I have talked about this. People don't see that story. So they just see the result. And a lot of these kids, they need to be taught, it's going to take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get where you want, wherever you're going. It doesn't have to, you can be famous without having to be a rock star. You could be a really well-known doctor, but a lot of kids aren't brought that's not brought to their attention.
Yeah,
And I think she makes a very good point about that, and we've gotten to some really good conversations.
I try to just be real always. I try not to
So
shine the shit
patience.
too much.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
patience is very hard.
That's beautiful.
I've been dying to put this song out so badly that I like every day I stop myself. I'm just like, I just gotta leak a little bit, and I just like, I'll just send it to like just one station, like nobody will know. And it's like, it's like my raw, like she won't even give me like my raw vocals, like so it's like so that's the one thing that really talks to me is that it's like raw vocals that I'm putting out there, like everything, but I'm like it still sounds so badass, but like I can use some tweaking though.
Drift away.
Yeah. There's another one that we've been working on too. I'm really excited. It's 2 singles. It's gonna come out soon. We're excited.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we can't wait.
Do you have a release date at all set for?
Or idea?
I have a video. I've got to shoot the video for Drift Away first because I'm releasing it with Vivo. They're gonna I guess premiere the song. So I have to. They kind of like gotta go shoot a video and not myself. Like I have to actually hire somebody else to shoot a video.
Yeah.
And, actually put. But so it'll actually look like a professional job and not just like I just had an iPhone and an Android too.
Hey.
It's good to have one of each.
It's all right. It's
No,
just
just
amazing.
iPhones, Androids. I've had to have discussions with
nobody's
some of the
talking to you
team
right now.
members.
I like both.
Clearly, the one who's interrupting me. That's the guilty one, not saying names.
I've got like my pile of like devices over there. I love some in the car, but it's half.
They live by and die by the Android.
Hey,
I'm sick
I
of
couldn't live
green
without my
text.
iPhone though too. Like I have to have the both.
Okay,
I
I
know.
know.
I don't like the green text either. It's
It's annoying.
I didn't pay my phone bill, so you can't text me.
Exactly.
She can.
Doesn't show delivered.
Right.
But I cannot wait I'm looking forward to this question that you're getting ready to ask.
I'm getting ready to
You're
get
bringing it home.
But
with
I gotta
this.
go. I gotta actually go before that. I gotta find out and
Yeah.
find out where people can start to follow you.
Yes.
Our listeners, so we can get on board and get on the train, the gold train.
Oh yeah, I like it. That's right. Let go, let gold. I have pretty much all Miss Caitlin Gold. That's MSKAITLY because we like you. Oh no, because we love you. Caitlin KAITLYNGOLD. And then Facebook, Caitlin Gold Music. www.CaitlinGold.com. Caitlin Gold, Gold. That's
And your music is released on all platforms?
Yeah, I'm on Spotify, Shazam, Deezer, jukeboxes and bars. I believe the elevators at Rolling Stone. I'm elevator music.
Yes.
I'm very excited
Love
about that
it.
one. That was a cool little side. Elevator music. Weird elevator music, but nonetheless.
Spotify,
iTunes,
Tidal.
Google,
Yeah.
all the stuff. Caitlin with a K.
Caitlin
All
with
right,
a K.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
I love it.
And and really, I want to say once again for coming out and having the courage to let us know what it is that is behind this music, because it is not something that is that I don't take lightly for me.
Wow.
And I know some of the people are also, but at the same time, it's also not always easy to speak about.
And well, it's not always easy to speak about because you don't always have the platform. So to have like the platform to be able to speak freely about something that isn't a popular topic is such an important thing, So thank you guys for letting me come and share my story, and for giving that platform to.
Hey,
Of course.
It's special and it means a lot to me, and it actually is unfortunately at this point more rare than you realize. So it's
no, I know.
Thank
You're
you.
completely
Thank
right.
you.
So with that said, we want to thank you once again for coming on, but we have to know, we have to get to it. We got to know, what is your superpower?
Oh, I have the super just like skin of steel. I just I call it what is it? I'm unfuckwithable. I am.
That's original.
That's it.
Yeah. You're like, I've been through too much.
Right,
that
right.
don't bother me.
Can't push me off my course.
Yes.
Well, I hope that everybody listening gets unfuckwittable. That's popular. I like that.
Hashtag that.
Hashtag
That's
that.
me.
Unfuckwittable. Well, thank you for your unfuckwitableness.
Thank you for yours. Thank you.
That shit is
That's
awesome.
gold. That's gold.
Yeah.
That's freaking
Amen.
gold.
That's so awesome.
Yes, honey. Own it.
You have the power. You have the power. Thank
Thank
you very much.
Thank you so
No,
much.
There you have it. Trip Digital Radio presents LA Style Magazine. Don't go silver, don't go bronze, go gold. Yes.
Make sure you are unfucked with.
We'll be back.
Yo.